Good morning and a warm welcome to all of you. I'm Dr. Manjula Surendra, Master Tutor for Veena and Vocal and Academy Coordinator. Know your instruments. As the topic goes, in today's presentation, you will briefly learn about the history, evolution, and the various styles of four ancient musical instruments of India, namely Veena, Sitar, Tabla, and Mridanga, that are practiced and performed even to this day. While Veena and Mridanga are two prominent melody and percussion instruments of the Carnatic genre, the Sitar and Tabla belong to the Hindustani genre. These instruments have evolved over centuries, and there is substantial evidence to prove their antiquity in the form of references in mythology, Vedic literature, sculpture and numismatic evidences, references in treatises, and several research works of great scholars. The format for today's presentation will be as follows. Starting with evolutionary evidences as seen in mythology, scriptures, sculptures and paintings, treatises, etc., I will take you through the structure and characteristics of these instruments, followed by a brief discussion on the various banis or gharanas and the prominent artists who have been instrumental in preserving this rich heritage, the benefits of learning musical instruments, and lastly, why SIFAS is the place to pursue your passion. Following this presentation, you will listen to a Jugalbandi by Guru Susanta Chowdhury on the Sitar, myself on the Veena, Guru Supriyo Banerjee on the Tabla, and Guru Shivkumar on the Mridanga. Jugalbandi means coming together of two styles or genres. I hope you will find this presentation interesting and will enjoy the performance too. We can have a short Q&A after the performance, and the respective gurus will be happy to answer your queries. Starting with Veena. Music and musical instruments underwent changes simultaneously. The Saraswati Veena that you see in the present day has evolved over several centuries. The instrument underwent numerous changes in terms of structure, like single string to multiple strings, gut strings to metal strings, fretless to fretted ones, fixed frets to movable frets, and so on. There are evidences to these in sculptures, Vedic literature, coins, and treatises termed as Lakshana Granthas. For all the four instruments, I have collated information and pictures chronologically. Due to time constraints, I will briefly touch upon the important developments only. Starting from 1500 BCE to 500 BCE, we find references to Vana in the Rig Veda, which is the Audumbari Veena played by the wife of the Yagnakarta, the one who performed the holy rituals. Samaveda mentions Gatra Veena, referring to human voice, which has a close resemblance to the structure of the Veena that we see in the present day. Here you can see two sculptural evidences of a string instrument resembling a harp. The first one is identified as a 1st century BC plaque, and the second one is the carvings found in the Nimbu Bhoj caves of Pachmarahi in Madhya Pradesh, a state of India. Moving to the period 100 CE to 700 CE, there were four important works. Naradiya Shiksha by sage Narada, which discusses Dharavi and Gatra Veena as instruments with 6 to 7 strings, a gourd, and a wooden stem. Aitareya Aranyaka, another Sanskrit text that mentions Daivi Veena and Manushi Veena. Brihad Deshi, authored by sage Matanga Muni, which discusses Dhruva, Chala, and Shatatantri Veenas. And Silapadikaram, a Tamil poetic work that talks about various types of vyal, which are string instruments. In fact, the modern day Santur resembles the Shatatantri Veena with 100 strings mentioned in Brihad Deshi by sage Matanga. Here you can see the sculptures of Kanchi temple depicting yard and numismatic evidences from the Gupta period. Emperor Samudragupta was a Veena player. You can also see a sculpture of Shiva playing Veena at the Ellora temple. Between 1100 CE to 1300 CE, Manasollasa of Someshwara and Sangeeta Ratnakara of Sarangadeva were two important works that talks about 10 varieties of Veena like Swara Veena, Shruti Veena, Tritantri Veena, Ekatantri Veena, Nakula Veena, Chitra Veena, Vipanchi Veena, Mattakokila Veena, Kinnari Veena, Alapini Veena and Pinaki Veena. You can also see evidences in sculptures and paintings of this era. On this slides, you are watching paintings in the Ajanta caves and sculpture depicting Alapini Veena in a temple in Sri Lanka. Here are more sculptures seen at Chittambaram in Tamil Nadu and Belur in Karnataka. Swaramela Kalanidhi of Ramamate of the 16th century mentions Rudra Veena that is classified into three broad categories, namely Shuddha Mela, Madhya Mela and Achyuta Rajendra Mela Veena. He further classifies them as Ekaraga and Sarvaraga. The Ekaraga Veena had movable frets and Sarvaraga Veena had fixed frets. Govinda Dikshitar developed the Raghunatha Mela Veena, which was the precursor to the present-day Saraswati Veena. The present-day Veena comes in two varieties, namely the Tanjore Veena and Mysore Veena. Structurally, both are identical, but differ in terms of the type of wood that is used to make the Veena, the size and the artistry. Tanjore Veena has more carvings and is made from the wood of the jackfruit tree, and Mysore Veena is made from rosewood. Structure and characteristics of Veena. Veena Vadana Tattvagnya Shruti Jati Visharadaha Talagnyascha Prayasena Moksha Margam Niyachati. Sage Yajnavalkya says, one who has the knowledge of pitch, Shruti, origin, Jati, the essence, Tattvagnya, of Veena playing and has mastered the rhythm is destined to reach the path of enlightenment or moksha. Veena is among the earliest Indian instruments, aptly called the queen of all instruments. The parts of the Veenas are mentioned in the picture here. There are 4 main strings and 3 tala strings. The 4 main strings are Sarani, Panchama, Mandara and Anumandara, which are tuned as Sa, Pa, Sa, Pa. Veena has 24 fixed frets, each representing a Swarasthana, analogous to the vertebrae in the human body. The distances between frets progressively increase similar to the vertebrae. Moving on to Veena Banis and artists. Bani or Gharana means a style or a tradition cultivated carefully over a period of time by a set of people or one person belonging to a particular geographic region. The style gets established when it is practiced by performers over generations. It also gets enriched by the efforts of practicing musicians. In Veena tradition, there are 4 distinctly identifiable Banis, namely Tanjore Bani, Andhra Bani, Mysore Bani and Kerala Bani. Veena Dhanammal, Karaikudi Subbarama Iyer and Karaikudi Sambashiva Iyer are the prominent performers of Tanjore Bani. Later, the 2 Karaikudi brothers developed their own style which came to be called as Karaikudi Bani. Now let us listen to a short audio clipping of Veena Dhanammal and Karaikudi Sambashiva Iyer. Andhra Bani. Veena Venkataramana Dasa, Imani Shankara Shastri, and Chitti Babu belonged to this tradition. You may notice in the picture, Veena Venkataramana Dasa is holding the Veena vertically. Similarly, Karaikudi Subbanama Iyer of the Tanjore Bani also held it vertically, which was the practice during those times. Let us hear the Veena rendition of Imani Shankar Shastri and Chitti Babu. Moving on to Mysore Bani. This was pioneered by Veena Sheshanna, who was an Asthana Vidwan in the Mysore's Royal Court of Wadiyars. He also established the horizontal posture of holding the Veena. Veena Venkatagiriyappa and Veena Dorswami Iyengar are the celebrated musicians of the Mysore Bani. Let us now hear short clips of Veena Venkatagiriyappa and Dorswami Iyengar. Here I am proud to mention that I belong to the 5th generation practitioner of this Bani, wherein Veena Dorswami Iyengar is my grand guru. Lastly, Kerala Bani. M.A. Kalyani Krishna Bhagavatar and K.S. Narayana Swami belong to this tradition. Let us listen to a short audio recording of K.S. Narayana Swami. The 4 Bani, although have unique characteristics, in the present day, with geographical boundaries not being a limiting factor, the performers are exposed to different styles and tend to incorporate techniques from other Banis to provide the best listening experience. With this, we come to the end of Veena segment. Now let's move to Sitar. Sitar is a very popular instrument of Hindustani music. The evolution of Sitar is akin to Veena until the 1500s. Ekaraga Mela Veena evolved as Sitar, which was, as told earlier, Veena with movable frets. Amir Khusru referred to Kachapi and Tritantri Veenas as Sitar. Here I would like to mention that many research papers have mentioned that creation of Sitar is wrongly attributed to Amir Khusru. Se tar means instrument with 3 strings in Persian language. Ragamala paintings are evidences to the instruments which were in vogue between 1500 to 1600 CE. Let us see a few of these Ragamala paintings. You can also see a picture capturing the various instruments as depicted in the Ragamala paintings. Now let us look at the historical facts about Sitar between 1700 CE to 1900 CE. Hamir Raso, an 18th century text, first mentions the name Sitar. Murakka-i Delhi, a book authored by Dargah Kuli Khan in 1725, talks about Sadarang and Adarang, who were 2 brothers and skilled sitar performers. Solwyn's Francois Balzac, a Flemish artist, portrays the playing techniques of sitar in his painting Les Hindus in 1796 CE. Captain Smith's writings in 1837 mentions about sitar accompaniment to dance. Madunul Mosiki, the 1855 book authored by Hakim Karam, mentions the sitar having 1 god, 14 frets and 3 strings. S.M. Tagore in 1872 authors a book in Bengali called Yantra Kshetra Dvipika, in which he describes sitar with 5 strings and 17 fret and also gives teaching guidelines to playing sitar. As we see, Veena and sitar has a common history. Around the 12th century, Indian classical music branched into Carnatic and Hindustani. Hindustani musicians used to perform on Rudra Veena, and many stalwarts of the sitar gharanas were Rudra Veena players. It was the Ekaraga Mela Veena, which is the Veena with movable frets mentioned in Manasollasa by Ramamatya, that evolved as sitar. Sitar today is a very widely practiced instrument across North India, and it has also gained global popularity due to the 20th century greats like Pandit Ravi Shankar and Ustad Vilayat Khan. I shall discuss about the various gharanas of sitar subsequently. Structure and characteristics of sitars. Sitar in the modern times has 3 varieties, namely Ravi Shankar sitar, Vilayat Khan sitar and Sur Bahar. Ravi Shankar sitar has 12 to 14 sympathetic strings, 2 small gourds and 2 extra bass strings to give deep tonal quality. They also have extra carvings. Vilayat Khan sitar, on the other hand, has less carvings, lesser number of sympathetic strings, 1 gourd with additional rhythmic accompaniment strings or chikari. Surbahar employs thicker strings, wider neck and broader fretboard. The tonal quality of the sound is deeper and considered more difficult to play. You can see the various parts of the sitar on the screen. Now moving to the gharanas. There are 9 prominent gharanas of sitar, and when we trace back their origin, we find that all of them originated from Saraswati Devi, the daughter of Mia Tansen. The 9 gharanas of sitar are Senia Gharana, which is considered as the earliest gharana, followed by Senia Jaipur Gharana, Imdad Khani Gharana, Maihar Gharana, Indore Veenkar Gharana, Vishnupur Gharana of Sitar and Surbahar, Sitar traditions of Lucknow, Sitar traditions of Bengal and Pathak tradition. Ustad Mushtaq Ali Khan, Pandit Debu Chowdhury, and Ustad Vilayat Khan are the prominent performers from the Senia Jaipur, and Imdad Khani Gharanas respectively. Guru Susanta Chowdhury belongs to the Senia Jaipur Gharana, a disciple of Debu Chowdhury. He also mentioned that he had learned from his father in the Imdad Khani Gharana style, and he also has dabbled in the Maiher Gharana style. All other Gharanas are an offshoot of Senia Gharana. Now let us listen to a short audio recording of Ustad Mushtaq Ali Khan and Pandit Debu Chowdhury. Pandit Ravi Shankar, Ustad Abdul Kalim Jafar Khan, and Pandit Manilal Nag are the celebrated performers from Maiher, Indore, and Vishnupur Gharana respectively. Guru Mihir Kundu has had the fortune of performing with Manilal Nag. Now let us listen to Ustad Abdul Kalim Jafar Khan. Ustad Yusuf Ali Khan, Pandit Kushal Das, and Pandit Ashok Pathak belong to the Lucknow, Bengal and Pathak traditions respectively. Let us listen to Ustad Yusuf Ali Khan. With this, we come to the end of Sitar section. Let's move on to the world of Indian classical rhythms. I will begin with tabla. There are various theories which are discussed when it comes to two aspects of the evolution of tabla. The first being the name tabla itself, and second being the origin of the instrument. One of the theory is the name tabla is derived from languages like Serbian, Spanish, Arabic and Latin, where it means a flat surface. However, most of the researchers are of the opinion that this is not valid and attribute the name tabla to Sanskrit word tala, since the Sanskrit language predates many other languages. Let us look at the evolution of the instrument. Sitar Khan Dhari, a famous pakhawaz player, lost a contest to Bhavani Das and in anger threw the instrument and broke it into two. The two pieces were believed to have become the daya and baya of tabla. Now this is not an acceptable theory, as in Indian culture, instruments are considered divine and revered. Natya Shastra mentions Tripushkara, an instrument with three faces, Ankika, the horizontal portion, Urdhvaka, the vertical portion, and Alingyaka, the embrace portion. Many percussions evolved from modifications of Tripushkara, and tabla is accepted by researchers as one such modification. Therefore, both the name tabla and the instrument is believed to have originated much earlier to the Mughal times. Here we find depictions of Tripushkara at the Sanchi Stupa in Madhya Pradesh and in Ajanta caves. You can see the pictures of a 5th century artifact in a museum in Gwalior and a sculpture in Badami temple in Karnataka where Lord Nataraja is dancing, Ganesha sitting by his side, and an artist playing Tripushkara. Here you see more pictures of Tripushkara from the 8th century Kanchi temple in Tamil Nadu and 10th century Someshwara temple in Odisha. Moving on to the structure of the tabla. Tabla is an indispensable accompanying instrument in Hindustani music as it maintains the rhythm or tal for the main performer. Daya on the right side is high-pitched and produces metallic sound, and Baya, the left side, produces deep bass sound. You can see the different parts of tabla in this picture. Gharanas and artists. Gharana or Bani, as discussed in the earlier slides also, is an integral part of musical history in India. While classical music has a common structure, every artist and school of music has the freedom to create their only unique style of presentation of both the structured musical elements and improvisational elements. We have seen that in India, even languages and dialects vary from region to region, but all of them derive their grammar and words from Sanskrit. While languages have developed deep distinctions with underlying commonality, in music the distinctions are more subtle. Talking about the gharanas, in tabla there are 6 major gharanas, namely Delhi, Lucknow, Farrukhabad, Banaras, Punjab and Ajrat. Delhi Gharana. Sitar Khan Dhari, a Pakhawaz player, is founder of this gharana. Pandit Chaturlal and Ustad Latif Ahmed Khan were among the prominent performers of this Delhi Gharana. Let us listen to Pandit Chaturlal. Lucknow Gharana. This was founded by Mian Bakshu Khan Dhari and Modhu Khan. It is an offshoot of Delhi Gharana. Pandit Hirendra Kumar Ganguly and Swapan Chaudhary belong to this school. Let us listen to the audio clipping of Hirendra Kumar Ganguly. He was popularly referred to as Hiru Babu. Farrukhabad Gharana. This was founded in the 18th century by Haji Vilayat Ali Khan, and this Gharana moved to Kolkata in the 20th century under Karamatullah Khan. Ahmed Khan Thirakwa and Anindo Chatterjee belong to this Gharana. Let us hear to the tabla rendition by Ahmed Khan Thirakwa. The Banaras Gharana. This was founded in the 19th century by Ram Sahai. Pandit Kante Maharaj gave it a new direction. Pandit Kishan Maharaj was a legendary performer of this gharana. Pandit Kumar Bose is also belonging to this gharana. Punjab Gharana. This was founded in the 19th century by Saddu Hussain Baksh. Ustad Allah Rakha, that's a disciple of Qadar Baksh too, and his son Zakir Hussain belong to this gharana. Now a short clip of Allah Rakha Khan. Ajrada Gharana. This was founded in the 19th century by Kallu Khan and Miru Khan. Akram Khan and Nizamuddin Khan belong to this gharana. Let us listen to Nizamuddin Khan. As I mentioned earlier, I belong to the Mysore Bani of Veena playing and I am the 5th generation practitioner. Susanta Chaudhary belongs to the Senia Jaipur Gharana and he is the 7th generation practitioner. Mihir Kundu belongs to Delhi, Punjab and Farrukhabad Gharana and Supriyo Banerjee belongs to the Benares Gharana. Now we come to the last segment of presentation on Mridanga. Mridanga again derives its origin from the Vedas and has innumerable references in mythology and history. There are also multiple sculptural depictions of this instrument. Mridanga is the main percussion instrument in the Carnatic music, and it is interesting to note that it is only in Carnatic music that you see an additional percussion accompaniment like ghata, khanjira, morching, etc. These are called upapakkavadyas. While the playing techniques differ, the lessons followed are the same as that of Mridanga. Now let us look at some of the documented references to percussion instruments in general and Mridanga in particular in various Indian treatises and epics. Rigveda has reference to Dundubi and Muruja, which means drums. Yajurveda also talks about Dundubi and Ahanya. Bhumi Dundubi was an earth drum which was made by digging a hole in the earth and covering it with a hide. Across all the 4 Vedas, Dundubi is the name used for drums. We also find the signs of rhythm in the Markandeya Purana, which is among the 18 Puranas, where they discuss about 3 types of rhythmic tempos, namely Vilamba, Madhya and Dhrita. Deities are associated with musical instruments. Lord Shiva is shown with a dhakka or damaru in his hand and Nandi is shown holding Mridanga. We find references to multiple percussion instruments in the Ramayana like Dundubi, Mridanga, Bheri, Ghata, Pataha and Dimdima. Padama and Mridanga were complex drums based on Dundhubi. Mridanga Lakshana, an anonymous work, documents a legend that says Maru the demon was killed by Vishnu and tore his skin apart, which was then used to cover the open sides of a percussion instrument. Nandi played dhim dhima beats on the instrument, which came to be called Muraja. Bharata in the Natya Shastra classifies all percussion instruments under two categories, namely Avanadhavadya or membranophones and Ghanavadya or idiophones. Avanadhavadya are those that are covered by skin, and Ghanavadya include all other percussion instruments. Mridanga is an Avanadhavadya, and other percussion instruments like ghata and cymbals, termed as chitki or tala, are Ghanavadyas. Now let us look at the various sculptures from our ancient temples depicting percussion instruments. You can see sculptures from Deobala-Durg, Chhattisgarh, Somnathpur temple in Karnataka, and Harihara temple in Jodhpur, Rajasthan. These are the pictures from Pattadakal, Bijapur in Karnataka, Padholi, Morina from Madhya Pradesh, and Hoysaleshwara temple, Halebeedu in Karnataka. Next we see another sculpture from Harihara temple, Jodhpur in Rajasthan, pictures from Bhaktavatsala temple, Nagapattinam in Tamil Nadu, and a sculpture of Mohini holding drums, Damaru, from Belur temple in Karnataka. In conclusion, as I have stated earlier, the close linkage of music with spirituality has made our instruments an integral part of a temple culture. This has provided us excellent visual evidences to trace the history and evolution of these instruments. Moving on to the structure and characteristics of Mridanga. Mridanga is the lead instrument in Carnatic music. Even though we call the South Indian lead percussion as Mridanga, Mridanga is also a generic name used for many drums across India. The khol, an instrument made of clay which is played in Kolkata in temples, and also pakavas are sometimes referred as Mridang. Dole is another such generic name. The cultural ethos across India has a lot of commonality coupled with region-specific practices. Here is a shloka chanted by performers in the northeastern state of Manipur before the start of recital. Kling mridangayai dhimahi rakara bidmahe pracheyadayat dhrang ghing dhring chittaswaha. The main body of the instrument is made from the wood of the jackfruit tree. Reciting the lessons of Mridanga in itself is an art form called konokol. You can see a picture of the instrument and its parts. Now, moving to the Banis and artists. Tanjavur Narayanaswamy Appa, a 19th century musician, is the originator of modern Mridanga playing. He was a Maratha and his original name was Nana Samarao. He was a singer who would sing bhajans and play Mridanga simultaneously. He was a musician in the Darbar of King Sarfoji of Tanjavur. There are two prominent Banis in Mridanga. They are Tanjavur Bani and Pudukottai Bani. Tanjavur Vaidinath Iyer was the founder and torchbearer of Tanjavur Bani. Pudukottai Mampundiya Pillai was the founder of Pudukottai Bani. He was a disciple of Tavil Vidwan Tirgokaranam Mariappa Pillai. Tavil is an instrument accompanying instrument for Nadaswara, which is played in temples and auspicious occasions. Mampundiya Pillai is considered the inventor of Khanjira, which is an instrument similar to tambourine but covered with wild lizard skin. And his invention was approved by none other than Narayanaswamy Appa. There are innumerable Mridanga Vidwans who belong to the Tanjavur Bani. I am sharing with you the pictures of some of the prominent artists who were direct disciples of Tanjavur Vaidinath Iyer and a few belonging to the second generation of the Vaidinath Iyer Shishya Parampara. You can see the pictures of Palghat Mani Iyer, the doyen of Mridanga, Dr. T.K. Mukti, who just completed 100 years, Umiyalapuram Shivaraman, Palghat Raghu, Vellur Ramabhadran, and Ghatam Maestro Vikku Vinayakaram. Let us now hear a short clip of Palghat Mani Iyer and Dr. T.K. Murthy. Guru Sivakumar, disciple of Palghat Raghu, belongs to this Tanjore Bani. Pudukottai Dakshinamurthy Pillai, Palani Subramanya Pillai, Ramanathapuram C.S. Muragu Bhupati, Guruvayur Dorai, Trichy Shankaran, and Kanjira Harishankar are the prominent Vidwans of Pudukottai Bani. Although Dakshinamurthy Pillai played both Mridanga and Khanjira, only recording of his Khanjira is available, and let us hear to that. Let's listen to the recordings of Palani Subramanya Pillai and C.S. Muragu Bhupati. That was a brief presentation on Mridanga. We have seen the evolution, structure and banis and gharanas of Veena, Sitar, Tabla and Mridanga. As we have understood, each of these instruments have a prominent place in Indian music and have remained vibrant throughout history. Learning any of these instruments gives students a lot of pride as they get associated with this great tradition. Having said this, there are also several other benefits from learning musical instruments. Now let us look at some of these aspects. Benefits of learning a musical instrument. They are language and culture independent. meaning it is not necessary to know the language or belong to a particular culture to learn any instrument. Instrument techniques enables you to try any genre. For example, learning Veena helps trying to play a guitar since both are fretted and plucked instruments. Similarly, when you learn Mridanga or Tabla, you will not hesitate to try another percussion on your own. Thirdly, it stimulates nerve endings in the fingers. Learning an instrument triggers the pressure points in your fingers that directly impacts one's motor skills. Tactile functions, oral engagement, stimulating brain to think in multiple ways and simultaneously, physical fitness, and more. To sum up, it builds the cognitive ability of the learner, more so when young. There is significant improvement in scholastic ability of children, as music is an interdisciplinary domain that incorporates math, physics, that is science of sound, psychology involving emotions, and much more. There are multiple research data to substantiate this. I would like to share the findings from two of the recent research done in India. One by Dr. Shivakumar on scholastic ability of grade 6 children who are exposed to instrumental music, showing an overall scholastic ability improvement by 36.4%, and a qualitative research done by Dr. Vidya Raja on improvement in mathematical ability among children exposed to classical music. Having understood the history, evolution, structure, techniques, and benefits, I am proud to say that SIFAS is the place to explore and harness your talent. With a faculty of very high standard and commitment, well-designed curriculum, and student-friendly atmosphere, SIFAS stands tall among the Indian art institutions in Singapore. Now, why SIFAS? Let me brief you on the experiential learning at SIFAS. What you learn in SIFAS is based on a structured syllabus which focuses on building a good foundation in music, proper finger techniques for instruments, lessons which enhances both skill and repertoire, and you also learn the theory of music. Combined with the structured syllabus are competent gurus who are proficient in performing and teaching, provide personalized inputs tailor-made for each learner. We have group classes and individual classes based on learner preference, and the lessons are spaced for better absorption. Environment for learning is most critical, especially when it comes to a performing art. Having a peer group always helps. The advantage of learning at SIFAS is that the students are exposed to multiple disciplines, given stage exposures and performance opportunities. They get to attend cultural events and also have opportunities to see live concerts by seniors. At SIFAS, we also provide guided listening sessions for many music students, apart from insisting on practice at home, as any art form is to do with proficiency in skill, which can only be mastered by practice. Quarterly reports provide students a structured feedback which will help them to consistently enhance their ability to progress. Now let me explain to you about this structured syllabus. The diploma in SIFAS is divided into 3 stages comprising of 8 levels. Foundation stage comprises of level 1, 2 and 3. The primary objective in this stage is to create interest in students, build the basic skills, give them a little bit of stage exposure, and also encourage them to use technology with tools like metronome, tuner, etc. Level 4, 5 and 6 comes under the development stage, and in this stage students build the repertoire, learn to perform with accompanists, and some may even get opportunities to accompany lead artists. Here the focus is on developing listening skills. Level 7 and 8 is the proficiency stage, wherein the students are exposed to greater nuances that help in becoming competent performers. The objective here is to build passion in the learners for the art form, prepare them for full-fledged performances, strengthen their repertoire, and get confident on the improvisations or the manodharma aspects. Finally, none of these objectives can be achieved without a competent, passionate, and committed guru. I wish to proudly state that all of us gurus here at SIFAS come with a treasure house of experience in terms of teaching as well as performance. You can look into the profile of all gurus on our website. Finally, I will wind up saying SIFAS provides multiple opportunities to the students for performance in events like Students' Night, Navaratri Festival, Deepavali celebrations, classroom performances, celebration of remembrance days of great composers, and gives opportunities to learn from listening to Master Series concert by tutors, World Music Day, and other performances by visiting artists. In a nutshell, SIFAS offers a holistic learning environment with cross-learning experience, performance opportunities, and provides a great art environment with consistent feedback.